You've been overpaying for things airlines give you for free. A flight attendant with 19 years of experience just revealed that passengers spend an average of $47 per flight on items and services that are actually complimentary. They just don't know to ask. One family paid $18 for bottles of water on a 5-hour flight when unlimited water was free the entire time. A businessman bought a $12 amenity kit at the airport when his first-class ticket included a better one for free. And here's the part that'll make you angry. Airlines train their staff to only provide these things when passengers specifically request them. They're counting on your ignorance to increase ancillary revenue. Here's what gate agents whisper to each other. Most passengers leave thousands of dollars on the table over a lifetime of flying because they don't know what they're entitled to. There are upgrade opportunities hiding in plain sight. There's medical assistance you can request that costs airlines money, but they'll provide if you ask correctly. And the final free benefit on this list, flight attendants say fewer than 2% of eligible passengers ever claim it, even though it can save you $200+ per trip. Stay until the end, because what number 1 reveals could change how you fly forever. Free benefit number 11, blankets, pillows, and amenity kits, if you ask. Here's the comfort item availability that varies wildly, but is often free when requested. On international flights and premium cabins, blankets, pillows, and amenity kits are standard. But on domestic economy flights, the policy is inconsistent. Some airlines charge for these items. Others provide them free, but don't distribute them unless asked. Here's the insider knowledge. Most aircraft have extra blankets and pillows in overhead compartments near galleys. They're for crew rest. But if extras exist and you ask politely, flight attendants will often provide them, especially on long flights, red-eyes, or for passengers with medical needs. The amenity kits, with eye masks, earplugs, toothbrush, lotion, are typically reserved for premium cabins. But here's the secret. If first class or business class isn't full, leftover kits sometimes get distributed to polite economy passengers who ask. Mark, a frequent business traveler, shares. On a red-eye from LA to NYC, I asked if any extra pillows were available. The flight attendant brought me a pillow and blanket, then came back with a first-class amenity kit. She said they had extras and I seemed like I'd appreciate it. I didn't pay for any of it. Free benefit number 10, headphones, even when they're selling them. Here's the audio equipment policy that confuses everyone. Some airlines sell headphones for $3, but here's what flight attendants reveal. If you ask and say you forgot yours, they'll often give you a pair for free. The headphones they sell are the same ones they stock for complimentary distribution. They're cheap, bulk-purchased items worth about $0.30 each. Airlines technically charge for them to generate revenue, but flight attendants have discretion. If you politely explain you forgot headphones and ask if any complimentary ones are available, most will hand you a pair rather than process a $3 transaction. On international flights and most premium cabins, headphones are always free. On budget carriers, they're more strictly charged for, but even then, exceptions happen for polite passengers. Pro tip: bring your own earbuds or headphones. But if you forget, ask politely before assuming you have to pay. You'll often get them free. Free benefit number 9. Special meals. Vegetarian, vegan, kosher, gluten-free. Here's the free meal upgrade that hardly anyone knows exists on flights that serve food. On flights with meal service, typically international or transcontinental, you can pre-order special meals for free. Vegetarian, vegan, Hindu, Muslim, kosher, gluten-free, low sodium, diabetic friendly, and more. These are provided at no additional cost. You just need to request them when booking, or at least 24-48 hours before departure. Here's the insider secret. Special meals are often higher quality than standard meals. Why? They're prepared in smaller batches with more attention. Food bloggers who fly frequently often order vegetarian or vegan meals even if they're not vegetarian because the quality is consistently better. But there's another benefit. Special meals are served first, before general meal service begins. You get fed earlier and have more time to eat before landing. Jennifer, who flies internationally for work, always orders vegan meals. I'm not vegan, but the vegan meals are always fresh, flavorful, and served first. Meanwhile, people getting standard meals get rubbery chicken or mystery pasta. I learned this trick from flight attendants. You can request special meals through the airline's website, app, or customer service. It's completely free. Airlines don't charge for dietary accommodations. Free benefit. 8. Full drink service anytime, not just during cart service. Here's the service availability that most passengers don't realize. You're not limited to drinks only when the beverage cart comes through. You can request drinks anytime during the flight by pressing the call button or asking a flight attendant directly. Many passengers avoid the call button because they think it's rude or only for emergencies. But flight attendants confirm requesting drinks or snacks is a completely appropriate use of the call button. A flight attendant on TikTok clarified, "The call button is there for passenger needs. If you're thirsty, press it. We'll bring you water, juice, soda, whatever we have." People suffer through thirst for hours because they think they can only get drinks during service. That's not true. This is particularly important on long flights where drink service might only happen twice, once after takeoff, once before landing. If you're thirsty between services, just ask. It's free. The exception, on very small regional jets with minimal crew, flight attendants might be strapped in during turbulence and unable to provide service, but on standard flights, beverage service is available throughout. Free benefit number 7, ice packs and basic medical supplies. Here's the medical assistance that's available for free, but rarely advertised. Airlines carry medical kits with basic supplies. Pain relievers, Tylenol, Advil, antacids, antihistamines, band-aids, and ice packs. If you have a headache, upset stomach, minor injury, or need ice for swelling, you can request these items. Flight attendants can't diagnose or prescribe, but they can provide over-the-counter medications from the medical kit. This is completely free. It's part of the airline's duty of care for passenger health. Here's what happened to David on a flight to Denver. I twisted my ankle rushing to the gate. During the flight, it swelled painfully. I mentioned it to a flight attendant, and she brought me an ice pack, Advil, and a compression wrap from their medical supplies. I had no idea they carried these things. The medical kit also includes more serious equipment for emergencies, defibrillators, oxygen, EpiPens, but those require trained medical professionals to use. The basic OTC medications and ice packs are available for minor issues. Important: don't abuse this. Only request medical supplies if you genuinely need them. Flight attendants track usage, and excessive requests can delay service for others. Free benefit number 6, wing walkers and wheelchair assistance, even if you're not disabled. Here's the mobility assistance that's more broadly available than people realize. Wheelchair service and escort assistance through airports is free and available to anyone who needs it, not just people with permanent disabilities. If you're injured, elderly, have limited mobility, or are traveling with young children and need help navigating the airport, you can request assistance. Arrange this when booking your ticket or by calling the airline at least 48 hours before departure. An airline representative will meet you at check-in, help you through security, expedited lane, escort you to the gate, and provide a wheelchair if needed. This service is mandated by federal law and completely free. Airlines cannot charge for disability or mobility assistance. But here's what many don't know. You can request assistance even for temporary issues. Sprained ankle? Request wheelchair service. Recovering from surgery? Request escort assistance. Traveling with 3 small children and overwhelmed? Request family assistance. Margaret, age 72, uses this service regularly. I can walk, but long airport terminals exhaust me. I request wheelchair service and someone wheels me from check-in to my gate. It's free, and I arrive at my flight rested instead of exhausted. I wish I'd known about this years ago. Free benefit number 5, flight delay, meal vouchers and hotel accommodations. Here's the compensation you're legally entitled to, but airlines won't volunteer. If your flight is significantly delayed or cancelled due to issues within the airline's control, mechanical problems, crew scheduling, etc., you're entitled to compensation, meal vouchers for delays over 3 hours, hotel accommodations for overnight delays, and transportation to the hotel. Here's the catch. Airlines won't automatically give you these. You have to ask. And if you don't know your rights, they'll let you pay out of pocket. The Department of Transportation requires airlines to have customer service plans that specify what they'll provide for delays of different lengths. These plans are publicly available but buried in airline websites. For weather delays, airlines legally owe you nothing. But here's the secret. They often provide meal vouchers and hotel assistance anyway, to maintain customer satisfaction. You just have to ask the gate agent or customer service desk. Robert experienced this. "Mom, flight was cancelled due to crew scheduling. The gate agent said nothing about compensation. I asked specifically about hotel and meals since it was an overnight delay. She provided a hotel voucher and $30 meal voucher. Other passengers booked their own hotels and paid out of pocket because they didn't know to ask." For international flights, EU Regulation EC T 161/2004 requires compensation up to $600 for significant delays and cancellations. If you're flying to from Europe, research these rights. Airlines owe you money, but won't tell you unless you request it. Free benefit number 4, rebooking on other airlines. When your airline cancels, here's the passenger right that saves hours when travel goes wrong. If your flight is cancelled or significantly delayed, the airline can rebook you on a competitor's flight at no extra cost to you. This is called endorsing your ticket to another carrier. Most passengers don't know this exists. They accept rebooking on the same airline, even if it means waiting 12 to 24 hours for the next available flight. Meanwhile, a competitor might have a flight leaving in 2 hours. Here's how to use this. When your flight is cancelled, immediately ask the gate agent or customer service to check availability on partner airlines and competitors. Specifically say, "Can you endorse my ticket to another carrier with earlier availability?" Airlines are reluctant to do this because it costs them money. They have to pay the other airline for your seat. But they're required to offer it as an option if their rebooking options are significantly delayed. Lisa used this when her flight from Chicago to Boston was cancelled. United's next flight was 18 hours later. I asked about other airlines. They rebooked me on a JetBlue flight, leaving in 90 minutes. Same ticket, no additional cost. I got home that night instead of the next day. This doesn't work on basic economy tickets with some carriers, and budget airlines typically don't have interline agreements. But on standard tickets with major carriers, it's an available option. Free benefit number 3, tour of the cockpit, for kids and aviation enthusiasts. Here's the special experience that airlines still offer but never advertise. After landing, parents can ask if their children can visit the cockpit to meet the pilots. Many pilots are happy to allow this. They'll show kids the controls, explain how planes work, and take photos. This used to be common before 9/11, then security concerns restricted it. But it's making a comeback, especially post-flight when security isn't an issue. Some airlines also allow it pre-flight if time and security protocols permit. Here's the key. Ask the gate agent or lead flight attendant before boarding or after landing. Be polite and understand they might say no due to time constraints or airline policy. But many pilots genuinely enjoy inspiring the next generation of aviators. Aviation enthusiasts, adults, can also sometimes request cockpit visits, especially international flights, or if you explain you're a student pilot or aviation professional, it's at the captain's discretion. Jake's 6-year-old son got this experience. After landing, I asked the flight attendant if my son could meet the pilots. She checked with the captain, who invited us in. My son sat in the captain's seat, got to touch the controls, and the pilot explained everything. It was free and made my son's year. Free benefit number 2, lounge access. You didn't know you had. Here's the premium amenity that thousands of travelers are eligible for but never use. Many credit cards include airport lounge access, priority pass, lounge key, or airline-specific lounges. Check your credit card benefits carefully. You might already have access and not realize it, but here's what fewer people know. Even without lounge memberships, you can sometimes purchase day passes to airline lounges at the airport, and the cost is often worth it for long layovers. Additionally, certain elite status levels on one airline sometimes grant lounge access on partner airlines through alliances. Military members in uniform get complimentary access to USO lounges at most major airports. These offer free food, drinks, Wi-Fi, showers, and quiet spaces. Many service members don't know these exist. Some airlines also offer lounge access as a complimentary benefit when you experience significant delays. If your flight is delayed 4+ hours, ask the customer service desk if lounge passes are available. Some airlines provide them as compensation. But here's the insider tip. If you're traveling business or first class internationally, lounge access is included in your ticket. Don't pay for food and drinks at the airport. Use the lounge that's already included in your fare. Free benefit number 1, denied boarding compensation. Cash, not just vouchers. Here it is, the free benefit that could pay for your entire next trip. If you're involuntarily denied boarding due to overselling, bumped from your flight, federal law requires airlines to compensate you with cash, not vouchers, actual money. The amount depends on how late you arrive at your destination. 1-2 hours late, domestic, or 1 to 4 hours international. 200% of your one-way fare, up to $790, over 2 hours late, domestic, or over 4 hours international. 400% of your one-way fare, up to $1,150. Here's what airlines hope you don't know. They're required to pay this in cash, check, or electronic transfer within 24 hours. They'll offer vouchers first because vouchers have restrictions and expiration dates. Most passengers accept vouchers because they don't know they can demand cash. You must ask specifically for the cash compensation. Say, I'm entitled to cash compensation under DOT regulations for involuntary denied boarding. I'd like the payment in cash, not vouchers. But here's the even bigger secret. If you volunteer to give up your seat before being involuntarily bumped, you can negotiate. When gate agents ask for bold volunteers, they start with low offers, $3,400 in vouchers. If nobody volunteers, they increase the offer. Wait, let them increase. When they hit $800 or $1,000 in vouchers plus hotel and meals for overnight delays, volunteer. Then negotiate for cash instead of vouchers. Airlines have discretion to pay volunteers in cash, and they'll often agree to avoid involuntarily bumping passengers, which creates negative publicity. Sarah used this strategy. My flight was oversold. Gate agents started at $400 vouchers. Nobody volunteered. They went to $600, then $800, then $1,000 plus hotel and meals. I volunteered and asked for cash instead of vouchers. They gave me $1,000 cash, hotel, dinner voucher, and rebooked me for the next morning. I essentially got paid $1,000 for one night's delay. This only works on oversold flights, which happen regularly on popular routes. If you have flexibility, this can fund entire trips. But here's the part that makes this number 1. Most involuntarily. Bumped passengers accept the minimum voucher offer because they don't know the law. They leave hundreds or thousands of dollars on the table. The law is 14. CFR Part 250. Look it up. Know your rights. When airlines violate them, file complaints with the Department of Transportation. Airlines hate DOT complaints because too many trigger investigations and fines. These 15 free benefits exist on nearly every flight. But airlines count on passenger ignorance to avoid providing them. The business model relies on ancillary revenue, charging for things that are actually free or should be included. If this information shocked you or will save you money on your next flight, hit that like button. Subscribe for more travel insider knowledge that puts money back in your pocket. Drop a comment. Which free benefit surprised you most? And which will you use on your next flight? Flying doesn't have to be an expensive, uncomfortable experience where airlines nickel and dime you at every turn. You just need to know what you're entitled to and be willing to ask for it. Safe travels, informed travelers. Now go claim what's already yours, already yours, already yours.